So today we're going to use weight. If you happen to have a heavier weight, that would be optimum because we're going to be doing a lot of this with both arms. So, you know, the regular 3-pound weight or 2-pound weight that you usually use will probably not be enough. You might need a little bit more. You could always use them both, you know, side by side. But I have a 5-pound weight. You can use anywhere up to an 8 to 10-pound weight on some of this stuff. So nice and easy. Good morning. Patty came to join us. All right, you guys. So we're going to start with just a little balance stuff. No big deal. So all we're going to do is put our hands on our hips, and we're just going to step from side to side. So we're just going to step. We're going to bend, lift up one leg, step, bend, lift up the other leg. So just try to keep your balance here. As we're lifting, we're shifting our weight, right? And standing nice and tall, trying to keep that straight line from that leg that we're standing on straight up. Think of lifting. Nice balance work. And let's just do a couple more. One more each side. I can't remember which side I started on, so I'm going to stop there. All right. So we're just going to go into kind of something similar. We're going to pretend that we have weight in our hand because in a minute we're going to. So we're going to come into a nice little hinge. And we're going to just bring our arms by our side. So all we're going to do is we're going to step back and lift our arms up. We're going to come right back down, step back, lift our arms up. So how we make this a little bit more challenging is by not putting that toe on the ground and just kicking the leg back. Using the glute to really reach that leg back. So pull that belly in as we lift up. Don't let it punch forward. And don't be afraid to take this on a little bit of a slower note. So really thinking about the movement. We talk about that intention, right? Putting intention into the movement. Let's do one more each side. And come down. All right, so last bit, we're going to keep our hands by our side. We're going to find a little bit more balance this time. So we're just going to lift one leg up, hands by our side. Now all we're going to do is as we extend that leg out, we're going to push those arms out too. And out. Two more. Last one. In, do that on that other side. So pick up, find your balance first. A little bend in the knee helps, and reach out. And remember, if you need that extra little balance, you just point your toe to the floor so that you have that. So let's do 2. 1, and come all the way down. So now we're going to pick up our weight. We're basically going to do that with our weight. So in the beginning, the one that we were going from side to side, we're going to actually stick with just one side, okay? So I have the weight in my right hand, and this time as I step or kind of lean into the right, I'm going to bend my knees first, lean into my right, I'm going to push up with the weight, and then I'm going to come back to my bend on the same side, and up. If this is too heavy to do single arm, you can do both, right? If you've got that heavier weight. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1, come down, switch that to the other side. So from here, we start with that bend, right? Lean over onto that left and up, down, pull that belly in, we're getting that heart rate kind of moving today with those little bit of quicker movements and heavier weight. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and down. All right, so we have that weight in our hand. We're going to come again, same thing we did before. So we have this time weight in both hands. So we're going to come into our little hinge. All right, as we step back, we're going to reach that weight to the ceiling. Come back down, reach, and down. Remember, if you want to add on here, you just lift the foot behind you so that you're not stepping to the floor. Pull that belly in. Use that glute to kick that leg back. So let's do a couple more. All right, come all the way in. So we're going to stick with heart rate gets going. Heart rate gets going. Okay, so on this one, we're going to stick with double leg bend and stand. That's all we're going to do. So we're going to come into our bend here. So as we stand, we're going to reach that weight again to the ceiling. And then stick those hips out behind you. And up. And bend. And up. So trying to keep those feet flat. And I think Patty was actually talking about this on Monday. Trying to keep a little bit of your weight into your heels. That will engage those glutes a little bit more. And 3, 2, 1, bring that weight down. We're going to do that again. If you're comfortable with that, stick with that. The only difference is we're going to raise up onto our toes as we come up. All right, so we're here. So we're going to come up first, up on those toes, down and back. And up. Keep that belly pulling in. So let's do 3 more. 2 and 1. And come in. All right, last one. Just going into our balance with our single leg, one leg lifted. So again, I'm going to keep the weight in both of my hands. I'm going to shift my weight over to my right, and I'm going to pick up my left leg. And I'm just going to extend arm and leg, and then pull it back. Keep that belly pulling in. Last one, come in, shift over to that other side, and take that weight off that right leg and come up into your balance and send it out. And 3, 2, and 1. And come all the way in. Yay, we did it. All right, so we're going to put the weight down for just a moment. We'll come over to our mat. And then we're just going to go ahead and bring ourselves down to a seated position. So all the way down to the mat, come into your seated. So all we're going to start with here is some scoops. So I'm going to have my hands on the outside of my shins, and I'm going to sit. I feel like my mat is turned in the wrong direction. So I'll go a little bit at an angle. All right, to my mat. So when you're in this position, I want you to use kind of a little pressure into the shins to almost like you're pulling back on your legs to sit nice and tall. Really feel that long spine. And then from here, as you soften your grip on your legs, you're going to scoop your belly. Your arms are going to kind of just float. They're going to feel weightless. And then you're going to scoop yourself forward, rounding yourself towards the knees. And when you get as far as you feel your sit bones underneath you, we're going to grow tall again, pulling on those legs, pulling those shoulders down. So let's do that again. And scoop. Round forward, sit tall, shoulders down, and scoop. And round forward, sit tall, shoulders down. Let's do about 4 more. And start letting your hands float away from those legs. And then grab back in and scoop. Let those hands in. One more time. And scoop. Float away. And up. And pull. Okay, so for this one, we're going to keep those hands in front this time. So we're going to lift those hands up. Feet are flat. We're going to scoop that way. We're going to curl back until we feel those abdominals connect. And then curl up. So pull the belly in. Curl towards those knees. Don't collapse into them. Just sit tall at the end. And scoop. And round it up. Sitting tall. And round it up. Shoulders down. 3 more. Up. And round. 1 more time. And scoop. And up. And this time we're going to curl all the way down to the mat. So pull that belly in nice and deep. Go nice and slow. Feel the back of the pelvis there. Pause for a moment. Then roll the rest of the way down. Bring those arms up and over. Knees are still bent. Exhale, arms come up, chin comes into the chest. Curl up. Reach forward on that rounded spine. Sit nice and tall. And scoop it back. Keep those feet nice and flat. Can you keep your toes on the ground as you curl down? Arms behind the head. And arms up. Chin in. Round it up. Reach forward. Sit tall. Do that again. Scoop it out. Try to keep those toes down. Nice and slow. And down. And up. Chin to chest. Round forward. Sit tall. 2 more. And scoop. Arms back. Arms up. Curl forward. And again, scoop it out. Arms back. Arms up. And we are going to curl it back, and we're going to stay there. So curl back. And curl down. So head is on your mat. We're going to take those legs, and you're not going to extend them all the way. You're going to actually I'm going to let my right leg, my foot cross over my left ankle. And my knees are slightly bent, but also kind of extended. All right, so let's try to curl up from this position. So arms behind, exhale, arms forward, curl up, sit nice and tall. So this time, as we curl back, we're going to let those legs come up overhead, okay? And then we're going to switch the legs so that the other leg will be on top before we curl down. So from here, curl down. As we come down, lift those legs up and over, hands are overhead, switch those legs, curl down. And curl up. Reach forward. Sit tall and curl back. Legs up and over. Switch, curl down. And round it up. Reach forward and curl back. Legs up, over, switch, curl down. We have 1 more. reach, scoop it back, curl up, switch, and curl down, and over, and rest. Grab your weight. I started getting out of the camera again. I started scooping and just inching my way across the room. That means you're doing it right. You can make yourself all the way across the room if you want to. All right, so we have our weight. We're going to start with the curl down. We're going to stay there once we get there. So weight out in front. We're going to scoop that belly. We're going to curl it all the way down the mat. We're going to lift that weight to the ceiling. Please be careful here. Do not drop the weight onto your face. Okay? Oh, wow. So my feet are hip width distance apart. I have weight within the full foot. And I'm just going to start with some bridging. So I'm going to scoop out my belly. I'm going to curl up into my bridge, keeping my hands to the ceiling. And then I'm just going to curl down. I just want you to do that a couple of times. And curl out. And curl down. And up. And curl down. All right, curl down, pause. So on this one, I want you to just lift and lower the body, no curling. So we take our spine as one piece, our body as one piece, we lift it up. Down, top the mat, lift again. So this one is, it's a little more challenging when we have the weight above us so that we don't have pressure on our arms next to us. And you think it's silly when I tell you, don't drop the weight, but believe me, it's happened because you start thinking about so many other things. You start releasing the pressure of weight, before you know it, it will fall. So I am cautioning you all to please pay attention to that. Last one, and down. All right, we are going to add in some arm movement to this. So this time we're going to lift up. And as we slowly start to curl that pelvis down, we're going to take that weight slowly behind at the same time. And then as we lift that pelvis straight back up, we bring those arms straight up to the ceiling. And again, curl, reaching that weight behind, rolling through the spine. Feel the weight come to the pelvis and lift. And curl. And lift. And curl. And two more. Up. And curl down. And last one. Up. And curl all the way down. And just pause here and take those legs all the way out. You can keep those arms behind you if you want, or you can just bring them, alongside you, whatever feels good. Got it? All right, so bring those legs back into your bent position. And we are going to take the weight to the ceiling. And this one is going to be a lot more challenging than what we're used to, all right? And we're going to lift up into our bridge. So we're going to go into a march. So you're going to lift one leg up and set it right back down. Now, the reason this is so much more challenging is because we don't have those arms to depend on to keep our pelvis stable and our body stable. So you really have to think about your abdominals here. Keep those shoulders down. Keep that pelvis lifted. And up, and up. One more time on each side. And curl all the way down, taking that weight behind. And stretch out those legs. Everyone doing okay? Okay, we're going to come back up. We're going to bring those legs back in. And we are this time, we're going to lift back up to our bridge. And we're going to hold So I'm going to lift my right leg and I'm going to extend it to the ceiling. And I'm going to bend my arms and my leg. And then I'm going to press. Bend and press. And bend and press. And 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Take that weight back behind. All right. And then we're going to come back up, weight up, lift up. Left leg comes up, extends to the ceiling. Bending the arms and the knee. Pushing up. And lift. And 3, 2, 1. Curl all the way down. Take that weight behind. Stretch those legs out. Okay, you guys. I can't guarantee that I'm going to do this one correctly. This is a hard one to do, so I may screw up. So I'm just giving you fair warning. So what we're going to do is the weight here is really important. If you don't have a heavy weight, you're going to be working a lot harder. Okay, so the weight actually makes it easier. So we're going to we're going to try to stand from a rolling up position. Okay, everybody's looking at me like, what? Okay, so we're going to come into kind of like a ball position, and we're going to curl back. And as we come up, push the weight. Oh, I knew it. Push the weight forward. I did this almost over and over again, and I was perfect. So you have to push that weight forward, put those feet underneath you, and stand straight up. Okay, so let's come back down. Find your position. Let's try it again. And curl back and up, flat, and stand almost. Pushing away is what makes a difference. All right, come back, down, sit, and weight in, curl back, and up. Almost. All right, let's try for 2 more. And this time, this is fun. Remember? Back and up. My knee won't go. No. All right, one more time. And back and up. Yes. Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. You did it. Barely. I was doing so much better. See, I wore myself out this morning. So I was doing so much better. All right. We're gonna stay standing for just a moment. Catch our breath. So we're gonna come into that nice wide stance. We're gonna let our heart rate kind of calm down a little bit. And we're just gonna go into some pliés. So keeping the weight next to you as we plie down, right? It's nice and easy. It actually gives us some ballast, helps keep our shoulders down. So it's nice and easy. If you want to make this more challenging, then you just take that weight and you bring it out in front. Now all of a sudden, I'm going to hang on to those abs a little bit more. And remember, you don't have to bend very deep. So for those of you with knee things, right? You don't have to bend deep. All right, so we're going to come up. We're going to come to toes. We're going to lower back down and bend. And again, remember, you can keep the weight here. That helps. And in. Pull that belly in. And 3, 2, and 1. And down and relax. All right, we're going to put the weight down for just a little bit. So we're going to come back down to the mat. And then we're going to come down onto our forearms behind us. So we're going to come right to here. Right? So from here, I want you to stay lifted out of your arms as much as you can. So don't let yourself start to sink. Lift up and out. Pull those legs up into tabletop. And we're going to start with this little toe tap, one leg at a time. So this is like a reverse march. And down. And up. So we're just going to do a few more on each side. And we're going to land with one leg down. I don't care which one, mine is on my left. I'm going to send that other leg all the way out. I'm going to stay lifted out of my shoulders, and I'm just going to kick that leg up. I have a pointed toe, up and up. And it's a nice little kick, right? Keep that belly scooped. Keep that kick. Now, switch to a flexed foot, and kick up. Up, up, up. Let's do two. And one. Hold. So that leg is out. I'm at that pointed toe again. I'm going to make this more challenging. I'm going to come up onto my hands, keeping my shoulders down, and last set of 5. And up, up, up. Last one. And bring it down and bring it back down to the forearms. Extend that other leg out, pointed toe to begin, and lift. So that nice little kick. Stay lifted out of those shoulders. Now switch it to a flex. And one more. Bring that leg down, let it stay extended. Point that foot again. Come up onto those hands. Shoulders down and up. 2, 1. Bring that leg down. You don't have to use your lower abdominals for that one. Throw all the way down. Extend those legs out. We're just going to finish up with a few curl up and down. So hands overhead. Exhale, chin to chest, curl up. Reach for those toes. Grab them, little stretch, come up to straight, and curl back. Arms back. And up. Reach for those toes, and up to straight, and curl. And up. Reach. And straight. Let's do 2 more. Really getting that nice movement of the spine. Nice stretch of those legs. And last one. And sit up tall. We're going to go right back into the same position. So knees will be bent. We're going to be back on our forearms again. So from here, we're going to lift those legs to tabletop. So from here, we're going to go back to those toe taps, but both at the same time. So we're going to lower and lift, lower and lift. So you don't have to take those legs all the way to the floor. Keep yourself lifted out of the shoulders. 2 more. Last one. Lower those legs down. Take a little break. Let those legs gently sway from side to side. Just kind of get some movement. Okay. All right, so all we're going to do here is we're going to add on a little extension. So we're going to lift those legs to tabletop. From here, we're going to extend those legs out. We're going to lift them up, lower them down, and bend them back in. Okay, so that's the movement. So it's out, and lift, and lower, and bend. Out, lift, lower, and bend. 3 more. Out, lift, lower, bend, 2. And in last one. And down. And we are going to go ahead and take those legs out long. We're going to roll up one last time. So arms up, curl up. Reach for those toes, give yourself a nice stretch, and then come in. All right, so a couple of things. We are going to come to kneeling. For those of you with bad knees, you do all of this in standing position. So standing position will look like this. Standing leg is bent, right? So all you're going to do is this position from everything that we do. Otherwise, we're on the knee, and you can, fold this up underneath your knee if you need to, or some little knee support. So this, think of reformer as we do our side overs on the small box. This is very similar. It's the same thing. That's what we're thinking of our waist, thinking of our glutes. So arms up overhead. We're going to bend. I'm on my right leg. I'm going to bend to my right. And then I'm going to exhale, lift. And bend. And lift. And bend. And lift. This time, allow yourself to go over to that little stretch. And nice and slow bend. And lift. And go over to that stretch. And up. And 2 more. And all right, so from here, again, standing people, you can do this standing. We're going to put our arm down. Other hand is going to come behind the head. Leg is going to slightly lift. And we're just going to do little circles. So we're going to bring that leg forward and lift and back. We're just doing 6. So there's 3 more. 2, 1, reverse. 3 more. Try to keep that chest open. Last one. And down. You're going to go ahead and bring yourself all the way down to the floor. Take your weight, have it handy. So we're going to do a side plank. On side planking, there's 2 ways. You can have the top leg in front of the bottom leg, so that when you side plank, you don't come up as high, all right? If you stack your feet, then you can side plank a lot higher, and it also incorporates balance. So I'm gonna let you choose which one you would like. You're gonna have your weight in your hand. Again, this is heavy weight, so be careful, okay? We're gonna come up into our side plank. We're gonna hold. We're gonna lift the weight, reach it to the ceiling, bring it down, and just keep the eyes at the weight as you do the work. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Lower down onto your plank. You're going to meet me in your plank position now. So we're going to come here. We're going to lift up. So I'm going to start on my hands and my knees, but my hands are slightly in front of my shoulders to begin with. My toes are tucked under, and I'm going to go out to the edges of my mat. Then I'm going to lift up to my plank. All right, I'm going to shift my weight to my right. I'm going to grab my weight, and I'm going to pick it up, pulling my elbow to the ceiling. I'm going to set it down, roll it over to my other side as I shift my weight, and pick it up. Down, shift, and lift. Shift, lift. And just keep going. Almost there. One more each side. And knees down, weight out in front. You can keep both hands on if you like. Nice child's pose. We are almost done. We're going to roll that back. We're going to turn. And we're going to do that all over again. So I'm on my knee. I'm going to take my other leg out. So I'm going to keep that foot on my extended leg out. Arms are going to come up to the ceiling. So we're going to start with just that nice little bend. So we're going to bend and then lift. And again. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Now go over just that little stretch. And again. Exhale. And bend. And over. Two more. And last one. Good. Arms down. So we're going to take our hand to the floor, hand behind the head, and we're going to lift that leg. And we're just going to do our circles. So 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep that chest open. Last one, reverse it. Keep that belly pulling in. 3 more. 2 and 1. Lower down. We're going into our side body. So I'm on my elbow. We're going to go into our plank. So remember here, whatever you feel most comfortable with, right? Feet can be stacked for that higher side plank or one in front of the other. Have your weight handy. Ready? And pick it up. We're holding. So weight lifts and reaches and down and up. And up. Yes, balance does come into play here. 3 more. And 2. And 1. And down. Coming into our plank. So I'm just going to keep the weight this time. The weight will be over. This is my fat arm. All right, so I have the weight next to my right arm. I'm going to take those legs behind me. I'm going to come to my plank. I'm going to grab my weight and I'm going to pull that weight up. Remember, we're in a wide stance. Roll it over, shift. Roll it over, shift. Almost. 1 more each side. And come down, weight in front. Go into that nice child's pose. And stretch. Wow, is everyone sweaty today? Yes. Got that heart rate going today. But we are going to slow it down. Isn't that nice? All right, pushing that weight out of the way, we are going to turn onto our backs. And we're going to lower all the way down. And we are just going to start with a nice, easy figure 4. We are just going to listen to us. Bend that leg, putting that foot across that opposite knee. I'd like you to take that foot and flex it. And then from here, we go into our stretches. We lift that leg off the floor, pulling that leg in. You need more. A little pressure on the knee and a little pull in on that opposite leg. Let your heart rate come down. Start breathing slower, relaxing the body. You're gonna go ahead and set that other foot to the floor. Take the leg that was crossed over, reach it up to the ceiling. Just pull that leg in, flex the foot if you'd like. If you want to curl up, you can do that as well. And then slowly come down, take that leg down. Let's do that on the other side. So just go into that nice figure four. Flex that ankle that's across that knee. Lift that leg off the floor. And again, that little added pressure to the knee and that pull in to accentuate that stretch. And we're just breathing, slowing everything down. Start feeling your breath starting to slow down. I'm going to set that other foot down, reach that leg up, and just pull it in to where it feels like you can get that stretch. You can flex that ankle if you want. Then you can also curl up. And then we're going to lower that back. We're going to straighten those legs out, and you're going to do a curl up and come to sit. So arms are up, chin tucks, exhale, curl up. And then we are going to go to our nice wide stance position. I'm going to grab my weight. I like it to help facilitate my reach out in front. I can just kind of roll my hands on top of the weight. So I'm just going to slowly start to round my spine, start taking that weight out, and then just letting my head kind of dive down. Feeling that stretch come into the back, to the inner legs. And then slowly start at your belly, pull it back. Start to round up as you pull that weight back. And you want to land in that nice straight spine position. You want the weight just far enough to where I can reach my right hand and my fingertips to the weight, and I'm in a straight arm, right? My left arm is going to come up. I'm going to keep my hand on that weight in front of me, and I'm just going to take my left arm and open it out. I'm going to follow it with my eyes as I twist through the body. And then I'm going to come back. And I'm going to switch my hands out. And I'm going to twist, follow it with the body and the eyes, come back, and we're going to do that a few times. And try to stay nice and tall. And up. What I like is, for me, the weight here on the floor has a little grip. I can actually kind of push on the weight a little bit as I twist to give you that little extra at the end. Come down and pause. We're going to change this just a little bit. Press forward. Go into that dive. Hold here. And then slowly pull that belly back. Stack that spine. All right, same thing. We're just going to change the position of the arm when we twist to lift up and overhead. Okay, so a little bit more on the shoulder stretch. So from here, we keep the weight right where we have it. Left hand comes up. We're going to start with the twist, just as before. And open that arm, follow it. Now lift the arm to the ceiling, following it with the eyes. Come back, set it down. Other arm comes up. And twist. And lift. And center. And twist. And lift, and center, open, up, and up. One more on each side. And up. right back in to our dive forward. And we're going to slowly curl back up. And this time we can kind of leave the weight. We're just going to finish this work off with a little bit of our saw, right? So kind of very similar. We warmed it all up, arms out. So we're going to twist to the left. And then I'm going to take my right hand, reach towards the outside of my foot, saw it 3 times. 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up, twist back to center. Twist to the right. Reach with the left and saw forward. 3, 2, 1, and up. And twist it. 3, 2, 1. Up. And reach. 3, 2, 1. Just do that again, one more each side. And 3, 2, 1, and up, and 3, 2, 1, and up. Reach for those ankles, grab a hold of them, and just pull them towards you as you lower your body. And all the way up. And I'd like to just do one more thing before we end, since we have a couple minutes. I'm going to take you all back into our laying down with knees bent, just to do some nice release bridging. That's all this is release bridging. So we're not doing any of that hamstring work stuff. So we're just going to scoop our belly, and we're going to peel off of our spine. And we're going to lift our pelvis till we have this nice plank position. Nice inhale here, and then just begin to soften the shoulders, releasing that spine, one vertebra at a time, until we come all the way back down to where we feel the weight come into the pelvis. I just want to do that nice and slow. Think of slow motion, pull in. Peel that spine, like there's a little stickiness to it, and you have to give it a little extra lift to take it up off the floor. Deep breath in, exhale, soften from the shoulders. Release the spine. Think of lengthening it at the same time. Feel that weight come into the pelvis. And peel it up. All the way to that bridge. Nice inhale at the top. Exhale, soften. Keep the reach of the legs as you start to soften your spine and roll it back down. All the way down. Let's just do 2 more. So this nice release. Just really allowing ourselves to get that flexibility into the spine. Take out any tension that we might have there. We're just going to do 1 more. And curl up. Heel it up. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Soften. Release. Straighten those legs all the way out. Take those arms up overhead. Reach as long as you can through the feet and the fingertips. Really stretching your body. A couple of breaths. I'm going to curl up.